Hey everyone, so I was in the studio earlier on today. I was only open today a wee half day, so I decided to come home and I'm going to get a print done. So this print is another silhouette skull, and this is going to be A3 size. So I'm just getting it started just now. So I've got my outline, and this is A3 Bristol board I'm using, and I'm going to be using my Sharpie markers. These Sharpie markers are really good, especially if you're filling in a really big area, like I'm on this. The smaller Sharpies, the fine liners, I use them just to go around the edges. So I use these as if it's the outline of the skull, and then I'll do most of my filling with this bad boy. So I'm just going to get started on this. I'm also going to be doing some makeup videos tonight as well, just because I get home that bit earlier the day. We just opened to be half day, so it meant that I could come home and get other things done that I need to catch up with. So I'm not too sure with this one. I don't know what sort of background I'm going to give it. Generally I would use my spray paints, and I would do a spray paint background, but I'm not too sure. I don't know whether with this one to maybe use my Copic markers. I've not decided yet, so I'll wait and see. I'll wait till all the black's done, and then I'll decide for there. So I'm just going to see how far I can get with a smaller Sharpie. I have got a good few of them, so I don't know how much ink is in these, how much ink's left in them, so I'll see how far I can get. I've only got one of the bigger size. I'll need to get some more of these, so I don't want to use too much of that in case it ends up, it runs out, so. So I generally always work with Bristol board because I normally work with Copic markers. Copic markers can be quite expensive, so normally there's a big art store in Blackpool. Anytime we're doing visiting family down there, I normally visit the art store, and I normally get quite a few Copic markers in there. If not, I can either order from that same shop, or I order from Cult Pens, which is another online store, and they do the Copic markers, and Cult Pens have got a massive range of colours, and they do the sketch Copic markers, which I prefer. So I'm trying to sort of build up a full set just now, so I'm trying to sort of work through the set and trying to get every colour, but there's so many colours, so it's taking me a wee while to build up the full set. A few of my regular tattoo clients, some of them anytime they come in to get tattooed, they bring me like a couple of Copic markers, so as like a gift, and I thought that was really nice of them. Especially Copic markers, they know that I use them all the time, so it doesn't matter like what colour they get me, it always gets used, so it's nice. it's nice to know that people appreciate me, and I love visiting art stores. I'm like a big Wayne in a sweet shop. So I used to also work with acrylic paints, and I also used to work with watercolour paints, but generally I just try and stick to the Copic markers now. I feel as though the Copic markers is definitely what I enjoy most, so I've decided that rather than buying loads of different sort of art supplies, I would just concentrate on the Copic markers. So I'm just going to do that and just keep learning, working with the Copic markers as well. I think with art, it's like when a tattoo and that, it's you never ever stop learning. You're always learning something new. And it's the same with art, like there's no set way of doing things. Everybody finds their own sort of way that they like to work, and things that they prefer to do that could be different for somebody else. So I would say that I have my own sort of style. I try not to copy anybody's style, so don't get me wrong, there is a few Copic marker artists, and they've inspired me so much, and that's why I went on to using the Copic markers. Even although Copic markers are pretty expensive, I definitely enjoy working with them, so I'm just going to concentrate with them. I also use Tombow markers, and I also use Sharpies as well. But out of all of them, I would say Copic markers is what I definitely prefer to work with. So with my artwork, I'm trying to sort of stick to my own style, and I call it Fusion Art by Carrie. So you can find a lot of my artwork on my social media pages, and I'll be starting to upload more videos onto my YouTube channels as well. So my YouTube channels, I've got one that's carrietriplex, and the other one is Tattoos Piercing MUA Fusion Art. So if you can maybe go on and give me a wee subscribe to both of them, that would be great. I really appreciate all the subscriptions. You'll also find my artwork on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter. So I just thought I'd have a wee relaxing afternoon, and especially because I get closed early, I decided, well, I'll just go home and I'll get some prints done. So generally when I'm using my black Sharpies, especially if I'm doing like a silhouette, I always do a setting coat. So I generally let the first coat of black dry in, and then I go back over it again. It does take a good bit of time, but it turns out better if you go over it twice. And at the end of the day, these are art prints that people are buying, so I want to make sure that I put a lot of work into them. I don't want to rush them. I'm also going to start signing my artwork as well. Generally I put one of my stickers on the back of the prints, but a few clients that have bought them have all asked for me to sign them, so I'm going to start signing them. But I'll just sign it in the bottom corner maybe, like the bottom right hand corner of them. I don't want to make the signature too big, because I think it can ruin a print as well if the signature's too big. So this is me just doing my first layer of black just now. So up until now I've not had to use the bigger Sharpie. This one seems to be holding up okay. I wasn't too sure how much ink I had left in them, but it seems to be okay. My phone has been playing up a bit, so if this cuts off, it is just my phone, and I will continue with a second video, and then I'll just try and put the two of them together. I don't know what's up with my phone. I'm paying money every month for the extra storage, but anytime I take a photo or a video, my phone is still saying that I've ran out of storage, so I don't know what the hell's happening with it. So So I'll wait till Brandon Lee comes home and I'll get him to have a wee look at it for me. I'm waiting on my iPad charging as well, so because I know that on my iPad it seems to take longer videos than what my phone does as well. So I'm no good with phones or computers or anything. I generally get the kids to help me, because I've not got a clue about stuff like that. So I do have an Amazon wish list as well. And I've added like Copic markers and Bristol board and all that kind of stuff on it as well. So like I said, this is just my first layer going on just now, and then I will give it a wee quarter of an hour just to dry in, and then I'll start the second layer. I'm also going to be doing digital prints as well, and my daughter Star, she's also started doing prints as well. There's a couple of her prints available to buy in the studio as well, so if anybody's interested in buying a print, then just pop into studio or just have a wee look on our social media pages and you'll be able to see some of our prints. So my daughter, she's pretty arty. She's really good at drawing. She says she's no, but she is. She's really good. She's absolutely brilliant on Procreate. I have still not got a clue about Procreate. She showed me how to do loads of stuff on it and I forgot. So generally anything digital, normally Star deals with that. We really appreciate the clients that have been buying my artwork. I can't thank you all enough. Honestly, I really appreciate it. I have started doing a lot more prints since my mum passed away, because I'm just trying to keep myself as busy as I can. If I sit about and do nothing, that's when my mind overthinks and I just think about my mum and my dad constantly, so it gets a bit overpowering. So I tend to just try and keep myself busy, and that know that it keeps my mind off them, because even when I'm sitting here drawing, I'm still thinking about them, but it keeps my mind occupied on the art rather than thinking about other things constantly. So this is why I keep myself busy. I get a lot of people that say to me, how can you do as much as what you do? But it's my way of coping. I just like to keep myself busy, and that's how I cope with things. But everyone that's been buying my art prints, and like stars prints as well, would really appreciate it. It's nice to know that people like what you do, and it's nice. It's just like in the studio, I appreciate every single one of my clients, because without you, I wouldn't still be doing what I'm doing. And the same as like the art prints, I wasn't too sure at first how it was going to go once I started selling prints, but I've sold quite a few. So there's prints, there's laminated prints, there is framed prints. I'm also doing canvases as well, and we'll see what else. I'm actually thinking of getting some of my artwork put on t-shirts and put onto bags as well. So keep an eye on my social media, and if I go ahead and get like the prints and the bags and that done, then I'll put them straight on social media, so keep a wee eye out for them. This Sharpie's actually holding it really well. I'm managing to get through this, rather than using the bigger one. I've managed to get quite a big area done already. A lot of the shops do the multi-packs of these black Sharpie pens, and any time they're on sale, I normally buy a pack, because I do go through quite a lot of them. And you tend to find it's the same with my Copic markers. If they're lying for a good while, like there's a lot of colours that I don't really use much, and the other ones that seem to run out, it's as if they just dry up with just sitting. So I'm going to have to start trying to use every colour, because the pens are quite expensive, and I don't want to have them just sitting running out and then have to go and then buy another one. The good thing is with the Copic sketch markers, right enough, you can buy refills for them. So especially the colours that I use a lot, you can buy refills and just refill the pen instead of buying the full thing every time. So the Copics that I use, so these here are the Copic sketch. These are the ones I prefer, these are the ones that I can get refills for. So that's the sketch ones. And then these are the other ones. So these ones here are just like disposable, so once they run out, then you've got to buy another pen. So that's why I prefer to use the sketch, the Copic sketch. I've got quite a lot of colours already, but I definitely want to try and get the full set. So once I've coloured this in, I'll give you a wee look at it, and then I'll stop the video because I'm going to let it dry for a while. I'm also hoping to do a couple of makeup videos tonight, so they'll be on my YouTube as well, so keep a wee eye out for them. think this one's starting to run out now. Honestly, all I do is buy these pens. I've got other ones there, right enough. But I was hoping this would have maybe have done the full thing. So I could fill this in with black paint, but I think the black paint, I personally think I'm better using that on the canvases. On the canvases you can't really use like Copic markers. I just find it really difficult to get like an even coverage on canvas, so I always stick to Copic markers on Bristol board. I've never had a problem with the Bristol board. There's a couple of the art stores that do their own sort of make a Bristol board, but I've not tried any of them yet. I generally just stick to the actual Bristol board itself. There's a few makers of Bristol board. I've got a few different makes and they're all the same. I tend to always buy the same thickness of Bristol board as well. And like I says, I've never ever had a problem with it, so I can use my spray paints on the Bristol board as well, which is really good. They dry in really well. It would have been quicker with this if I used my paint, but I do prefer working with these. So as you can see, it's all coming together now. So I think this print, I think I'm going to frame this one as well. So this one should be available to buy as soon as it's completed. I'm going to do the fill in all the black first, and then I'll decide. Not too sure whether to use either spray paint for the background, which I love working with, especially for backgrounds. It goes great with like black silhouette designs, so I'll either do that or else I'll just use my actual Copic markers. I'll see first. Like I said, I'll let this dry in, I'll do the second coat, and then I'll decide for there what I'm going to do with it, if I'm going to use a spray paint or if I'm just going to use a Copic markers. So I don't know, something's telling me with this one just to use the Copic markers, so I don't know, we'll wait and see. Generally my artwork are one-offs, so some of the artwork that I do, it just comes as a one-off, so I've only got like one available, but a lot of them I also make glossy prints, and I also sell them as well. A lot of my clients like to buy the glossy prints because they like to go out and buy their own style of frame, but with this one I think I'm definitely going to frame this one, but we'll see, we'll wait and see. The large frame I've got for this, the A3, for the A3 size Bristol board, I'm sure it's like a peachy pinky colour, so I'm not too sure if I'm going to use Copic markers. Then I'm still not too sure what colour to do for it, because I want it to tie in with the colour of the frame. It was only larger frame that I could get in that size, I didn't have time to go around loads of different shops, so I had to just take the frame that they had. So I sell quite a few different ranges, a few different sizes. I generally do 6x4, 7x5. I also do 8x10s, and I do A4 size. And then now and again I'll do A3 sizes as well. So when I do the setting coat in this, sometimes the setting coat takes a bit longer than the first coat, because you've got to make sure that you give like every bit of it a second colour, or else it will be patchy. Like some areas will look darker than others. I just find drawing and like doing prints, and especially like colouring in like this, I find it really relaxing, and it definitely helps like switch my mind off of things as well and relax my mind. I would love to be able to sit and do prints every day, but I've got that much like client designs to do that I don't always get time to do prints. So when I finish that bit earlier and I've got the chance to just chill out and just work on a print, then I'm going to do it, because I just seem to be running ragged just now with work, and I just feel as though I don't get a lot of time just to chill out myself and get like something like this done. So it's not taking me that long at all to get this one filled in. I thought it would have took me a lot longer, but it's actually not that bad. It's filling up pretty quick. So I'm going to use a different pen because that one is, I think that's getting to its last legs. So I'm just going to start with another one. So nearly there with this first coat. So this is me just getting to the end now, this first coat. And I'll just give you a wee look at how it looks just with the first coat, and the reason why I would go over and do a second coat of colour. So that's the first coat, and as you can see, the reason why I get a second coat, I don't know if you can see it there with the light. So this is the first coat, and you can see like the pen marks through it. So if I go over that with a second coat, it takes all that away. So I'm just going to let this dry in now. I'll let it dry in for about 15 minutes and then I will go back over it and do a second coat. So thanks for watching this video.